I've talked to Michaela quite a bit. Jordan Peterson has been, to me, one of my biggest mentors from afar, learning so much from him. They don't want to be on it long term either. I would have them do something called FMT. It stands for fecal matter transplant. It's where you take someone else's.
Whoa.
You take someone else's
Poop. Yep.
Ancient cultures have done this at certain points if somebody was very, very sick.
Really?
Yeah, it's been documented. People could go and read it.
Ruslan.
It seems like folks who have autoimmune issues like they do
Yes.
tend to thrive on these carnivore diets.
Yeah.
And would you say from your perspective, your, again, personalized diet, personalized nutrition, would you say that there is some validity to autoimmune, carnivore? Those seem to work well together.
For sure.
Okay.
And here's why. So when somebody has autoimmune disease, oftentimes the biggest issues are taking place in the gut microbiome.
Okay.
And so when somebody does any form of carbohydrate, what it will do is you have microbes, and if you have a very unhealthy gut microbiome, let's say there's parasites or mycotoxins or mold or yeast or H. pylori, there's all kinds of, they will feed off of that and they will grow, and that will cause an inflammatory reaction. And so it's a condition that maybe a lot of people have heard of called leaky gut syndrome.
I've heard of that.
And really leaky gut is what's causing autoimmune disease.
Interesting.
And so when you go carnivore and you only are eating protein and animal fats, well, they have nothing to feed off of. Now, there is an issue though. There's there's somebody I have on my podcast. He's a PhD. His name is Dr. James DiNicolantonio. And he's talked about papers and research on how carnivore, it's too acidic. Now, listen, typically your acidity and alkalinity are not as important as like certain people have claimed. I don't know, you know, there's been like a big alkaline diet 20, 30 years ago.
Alkaline water.
Exactly.
All that stuff.
But fruits and vegetables make you alkaline, and meat is more acidic. So there's a belief that it may decrease bone density, and your body might have to start pulling minerals out of your bones and doing things to keep it alkaline because you are so acidic. And so, listen, the carnivore diet is not the healthiest diet. Like, we're not meant to be carnivores and just eat meat. But there are certain conditions like mold toxicity, you know, like SIRS, which is what Dr. Peterson and Michaela were dealing with from an inflammatory standpoint, autoimmune disease, where for a period of time, it is maybe the best diet for them to be on short term. And long term, you really don't want someone to stay on it, but but you really have to reintroduce these foods very slowly and wisely, and focus on healing the gut microbiome. Like I've talked to Michaela quite a bit. They've such an amazing family. I mean, Jordan Peterson has been, to me, one of my biggest mentors from afar, learning so much from him. So I'm a huge fan of his work and everything their family is doing. But I don't think it's the thing that they want to, they don't want to be on it long term either. But you got to make a transition, and there are certain therapies that I think would be very helpful for that. Like, I would have somebody do an IV stem cells. I would have them do something called FMT. It stands for fecal matter transplant. It's where you take someone else's.
Whoa.
You take someone else's
poop. Yep.
And you either do it as a suppository, or you take capsules that are time release that open up when they get to your large intestine, and try because here's what's happened when people have taken antibiotic drugs and all the antibiotics today. There are studies that show if you take an antibiotic drug, your microbiome is never the same. I mean, there are some that you got from your mom when you were born that if you completely kill, you're not getting back. And so if you do that, you can actually take someone else's microbiome, those microorganisms, and some of them will take residence in your gut, helping redistribute some really crucial bacteria like bifidobacterium and someone like that you get early on. But I think that's really part of the root of it. Is I think that, one, there are organ systems that are just too weak. Typically stress is the biggest cause. Overthinking, obsessive, and there's all kinds of things there. And then the microbiome is just so out of whack and out of balance. And that's the way I go approaching those types of things. If someone's on carnivore and has autoimmune disease, to start to get them to the point where they can actually eat food again.
But consuming somebody else's feces sounds crazy.
Well, you know, what's interesting. Ancient cultures have done this at certain points if somebody was very, very sick.
Really?
Yeah. There's a it's been documented. People could go and read it.
Wow.
I mean, read up on it. There's in the best gastroenterologists in the world, some of the best that are progressive. This is what they do. Like, in fact, there's a condition called C. diff. C. difficile. If people have overgrowth of this, causes inflammatory bowel disease, can kill them. I mean, it's really a major infection that happens in the intestines. And the number one therapy for curing it completely is FMT.
That is a trick.
By the way, I don't talk about this that often,
No.
but you brought what I would do.
I'm having a very selfish conversation with you right now. Hopefully other people enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just so intrigued by this stuff. Now, it sounds like me and you would definitely agree on like this as a prescription, carnivore as a prescription for all people. Probably not a good idea.
No way.
Yeah.
Let me say something else. We were exposed to historically a lot more microbes than we are today. I mean, our gut microbiomes are so minuscule in terms of the diversity. I mean, think about this. Up until 100 years ago, the majority of jobs were agriculturally related.
Okay.
Like over 50%.
That's crazy.
And so think about this. And if you've, like, I own a farm, like I own 5,000 acres of organic land with Jordan, and we own in Missouri and Tennessee. And like, if you're out there, people are walking barefoot over cow patties. You're swimming in lakes that have microbes. You've got cows and dogs, and like we are exposed to so many microbes. So in gardening has been shown to be one of the greatest things you can ever do to expand your microbial diversity. And having more microbes, types of good bacteria, allows you to deal with different viruses better. It allows you to better absorb nutrients. Bacteria in your gut actually create nutrients. So it's really, really crucially important. People have said 70% of your immune system, scientists have said, is located in your gut because of the gut microbiome. So it's a big deal, but we have such a small exposure. And what happens if you're exposed over time, your body builds out more and more and more, and will start to adopt into the family of your microbiome more and more types of bacteria. And there are studies on people that are Amish. Here's a simple, well, first off, they have very robust and healthy guts. But even having a pet at home, people have been shown to have stronger immune systems because your dog's outside, rolling in the grass, doing things, and then you're adopting some of their microbiome into your microbiome. So my point with the FMT is that's a very much more direct way as somebody is incredibly sick. But for the general population of people that really want to build a really strong and powerful immune system, get outside way more.
Yeah.
Have a garden, have a dog. You know, it's
touch grass.
Touch grass.
Touch grass.
Like eating raw local honey. The reason why it's good for allergies is if you take it once when you have allergies, it doesn't really fix your allergies. The benefit is doing it year round. Honey on average has 200 different types of pollen. So you're getting a microdose. It's natural immunization. You're getting a microdose of pollen. That way, when there's a flood of pollen later on, you've built up the antibodies to be able to deal with it.
Interesting. Okay. If you want to see the full extended version of this conversation, as well as all of our future conversations, have access to the chat, be able to ask our guests questions, you could sign up for a free 7-day trial. Patreon. The link is in the description and the pinned comment below. Here's a little preview of this conversation. All right, I'll see you over on Patreon. Peace.
And then I got a call from my mom, just sobbing on the phone, and she said, "I've been diagnosed with cancer again." Can I tell you, with Steve Jobs, what I believe cancer, as much or more than any condition, is.
We just covered a lawsuit on Ozempic in that they knew that it could cause potential more blindness as a side effect.
Yeah.
And there's someone that's suing them because they said,
and he said, I just felt at that moment that God told me I would be healed. And so he went and followed a diet that was very biblical in nature, went back in. His cancer, I would have them do something called FMT. It stands for fecal matter transplant. It's where you take someone else's.
Whoa.
You take someone else's poop.
Poop. Yep.
Ruslan.